Welcome back to the AAC in the Lynn Miller Room, our final segment of this week's edition of the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. Matt Ballard has joined us. And, Coach, hard-fought game on Saturday at the University of Dayton came out with another good first quarter and just seemed like the same M.O. Second half just didn't bode well for Morehead State.
Yeah, we need to try to find a way to change that MO. And if we can just, 1 plus 1 plus 1
we could
plus
go
1.
to the locker room after each quarter and then come out and they all might think it's first quarter again.
I would really vote for that because, if it's a new game, you get new officials, right?
We need those.
A whole new crew. And, I would vote for that. Yeah, and, count as 4 games, So, yeah, I'm up for anything for sure. But, we early on probably played better than late. But I think that offensively we got back into it and got on track and got in rhythm and made things interesting and got back with it, within a couple scores. And, what's fascinating, I think we talked about it post-game. Of course, what's the old saying? Ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have Merry Christmas. I mean, that's the thing about ball games. And every ball game you ever play, and we talked about this last night in our team meeting, was that, I don't care. Every game you play, every game you talk about, whether you win, lose, or draw, whatever, you can always, every single one of them, you can always point to 3, 4, 5 different plays. You really can. I mean, that's just part of it. But if we don't have, if we convert on fourth down, if we don't give up the hook and lateral and things like that. But, you can say that about a lot of plays. But the difference is this, and it's like Chuck pointed out, they're at the end of the ball game, we're driving down and we're going for the tying score, okay, instead of having to score and then kick onside kick and then go down and get another score and to win by 1, or actually win by 2. But anyway, we had our chances. We had our opportunities, and even there in the second half. But the thing that I liked about our group is, we made some things happen in the special teams area. We made some nice plays defensively, just not enough of them, not consistent, and we gave up some key big plays. And then offensively, we had the type of balance that we like. Would we have liked to have run the ball a little bit more? Yes, absolutely. But, when you're down by a couple scores and then you're fighting the battle of the clock, then you can't do that. You got to air it out there a little bit. And but I was pleased with a lot of things. Probably the one area that I think probably affected us the most was our lack of success in our screen game. You can really tell that Dayton did their homework. They did a great job in their preparation, and I think they spent an enormous amount of time defending and schooling up our screen game, because I tell you what, they basically shut that down, and very rarely does that happen. And when you take that out of the mix, that's a whole different ball game for us. And then probably the one thing that probably maybe some people forget or is not pointed out or overlooked, probably I was searching for the word, overlooked, is our 90 game and our 90 game protection. Jason, that's half of our offense. It really is. And when we're not able to protect, and the 90 game is our intermediate longer range passes where you have a 3-step drop, you have to protect longer, etc. And we didn't handle their pass rush very well in that category. And when you take half of your offense out and then your screen game's not working, you're kind of one-legged, so to speak. You really are. So I thought really that was the difference, hand in hand with us playing just a little too high and not tackling very well most of the time defensively. I think in combination with those things, and then you throw a turnover in there, and then a couple questionable calls, and I mean it's just a whole completely entirely different ball game. But it's closer and it's tougher and harder fought than you look at the surface, so to speak. But we did an awful lot of good things, but just not enough of them, just not consistent. And that's the big thing that comes out of this ball game is, we have to be more consistent. In all three areas, with special teams, offense, or defense, at times we look like $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like, did you guys practice this week in that area? Or, where's this guy been all week? And just the inconsistencies is what really drives all of us crazy.
Kevin Thomas came out of his kind of slump and had a great game receiving, and then Reese McShera, give him props, second game over 100 yards for your offense.
I tell you what, and just very happy and very excited for KT at our wide receiver position. He really hasn't been that big of a factor up until this time. He has fought constant illness and has had some injury, missed some ball games early, and he is pressed. He's been wanting to catch that football, but just pressing has had several drops, etc. And we knew how important that he could be in this ball game. And we just stressed that upon this week and just tried to pat him on the back and try to build his confidence there a little bit. And we felt going in that we needed to at least try to get the ball to him early and often and let him gain some confidence. And I tell you what, that's what took place. And he was very dominating, played a very impressive football game, and probably should have we would like to have been able to get the ball to him a few more times. But I tell you what, he had an outstanding ball game and made some great catches there, especially the touchdown down there late in the ball game. So, what you hope is that, okay, the roses come in bloom, so to speak, and it's there for the rest of the season, and because we're going to need that. And then, of course, Reese McShera, I tell you what, I mean, what a gritty, what a very impressive performance. I mean, he goes over 100 yards again, some tough yardage, made some people miss, got some big yardage plays, and then he catches, 7 or 8 footballs.
Pound per pound, probably the best back in the league right now.
Absolutely, and I mean, he is so valuable to us, and I mean, he's not any bigger than a flea, but he's just so exciting to watch. He's so much fun, and I mean, he's an electrifying player. I mean, who else around the country have you seen that can make more people miss between the tackles? And then when he does get outside the tackles, how many times have you seen the first guy get a clean hit or the first guy tackle him? It doesn't happen. I mean, he's just a very elusive football player. He's always does the right thing. He's at the right place. Just like in the past ball game, I mean, most of those throws to him are checkdowns. All right, and it's important that the guy's in the right spot, and then he's got tremendous hands. Because there was a couple times we did check downs that he wasn't in the ball game, and those go as incomplete passes. But I tell you what, he's just playing very solid right now, and he's one of those guys that you just can't get the ball to enough.
Matt Ballard is our guest, Eagles Sports Coaches Show. Coach, after the game, you were talking about making a streamline offense and defense, the fact that we're going to do what we're going to do and we're not going to do anything fancy. If we have to have 5 plays, we're going to have 5 plays.
Absolutely. I mean, for the most part, we've always used what I've always called the toolbox approach. You might have a big old truck out there and it's got 1,000 tools. You got a small little light fixture to fix in here. Well, you don't need to drag all those tools in here in a big toolbox. Hey, this is what is needed to get this job done. Now let's go get 3 tools. Let's bring them here and let's fix it and let's go on about our way. So, so many times we as coaches, we think, okay, we need this and that and that. And then after a while, then it keeps building. And then all of a sudden, man, look at all the stuff that we're doing, or look at all the stuff that we're trying to do. So the old adage is, if you're doing a lot of stuff and you're a little too inconsistent, and you need to be able to do things a little sharper, then what do? You just kind of trim the fat there a little bit. It doesn't mean an overhaul. It just means a slight cutback. Just kind of like a suit. You're gonna tailor fit it. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know. I never have a tailor.
Well,
fit,
I haven't either.
I
but
can't
I'm just
afford that. So.
Hearsay, the big stars.
Okay.
That type of thing. But you know what I'm saying? I think it's important that you just really look at, hey, these are the things that we're doing well, and these are the things that we're consistent in. Then guess what? All right, we got A, B, and C, and these three things, you know what? We're really having trouble with them. Now, are all three worth it? All three might not, but maybe one is, all right, well, let's cut the other two out, and let's just zero in and focus on this and just polish it up. And the old adage is, if you're getting more reps at such and such, all right, then theoretically you should get better at it and you should be more consistent. So this is just kind of, getting the suit tailored and trimming the fat, or whatever analogy works for you with the toolbox. For me, I'm old country boy, North Carolina. The toolbox approach works for me. All right.
Butler on Saturday night, 6 o'clock. Homecoming for Butler. Number one, I know how you feel about being homecoming games, but the fact that Butler has played well at times, and their program has done well over the last few years.
They really have. They're playing with a lot of confidence. They're very, very solid defensively, and they've got tremendous balance within their offense. It used to be they were just so one-dimensional. They're a great running team, but they couldn't throw it very well, or they were throwing it all over the ballpark. All right, but they just, they didn't run the football a lot, or they weren't very effective with it. The difference with this football team is they're very effective in both the run and the pass game. They do a good job with the quarterback protecting him, different launch points, and then basic bottom line, I mean, they just don't give up much defensively. So they're playing very, very solid. They're undefeated in the conference. They're sitting up there at the top with Jacksonville. I'm glad it's their homecoming. I hope they party all week and looking forward to the party afterwards and all that stuff. And, I'm sure I don't know, I doubt they're overlooking us, because the kind of football games that we have had versus them, we've always played great games against them for the most part. I can remember a couple that we have let go out of the way. But this is a week that we're going to the playground. I think I spoke to that in the post game. You can't worry about this and that and be uptight about this or that, and just, I mean, our guys are trying so hard and they want to make the play. They want to win so bad, and then that can be a stumbling block for you. It really, really can, and because you're just not playing natural and normal, and you kind of get out of whack. So hey, this is playground week. My favorite hour of school was recess. Well, we're going to recess all week, and
heard you majored in that, man.
I did.
Okay.
I got a minor, and then they've given me an honorary degree because I've been on college campus all my life. So yeah, I'm a very lucky guy. But this is what it's about, is going out and having fun and relaxing. Teams that play relaxed and confident, or teams that play consistent, and we just have to put a game together. We're kidding and joking about earlier with first quarter +1. Hey, guess what? If we can do that, it'll be a great day for the Eagles. It really will.
You have to feel good about the fact that 95%, maybe 99% of your kids still hanging in there with you. It's been a rough stretch. It's always a yes sir, no sir type team. That's what you got. But the fact that as a staff, you're working just as hard if we were undefeated, and the fact that the boys haven't given up has to be good for you.
Absolutely. Well, I'd put that at 100%. I haven't seen or sensed anybody that's let up or given up or anything like that. We're not about that, and practice is very high tempo and just as enthusiastic now as it was in the beginning. I mean, that's just us. That's just our way. That's just who we are. And in order for anybody to be successful and to make it, you just got to keep hammering away. Whether no matter what you do, you don't allow setbacks or struggles to affect you with how you go about your business. If you do that, you'll never improve, you'll never get better, you'll never make it. So we're about going out each and every day, trying to improve and get better, have fun, enjoy what we're doing, and then, okay, we're playing this week? All right, come on, let's go. What time you want to play? It's just like Butler. Are you kidding me? Playing him at 6 o'clock? What's that about? It don't matter. You want to play at 9:30? Just let us know. We'll kick it off, and Eagles be ready, and hopefully we can put one together and find a way to pull one out.
6 o'clock kickoff, 5:30 airtime on the ESN. And, of course, before we get out of here, we'd like to remind everyone again, next Thursday, October 25th, will be Morehead Hysteria. You can get a preview of the men's and women's basketball team. Tom Hodges will open it up. He'll probably wear something
very colorful.
Oh no, he's going to wear just a plain one color suit. That's what I heard. No.
Yeah, no.
You know Tom.
Yeah.
And then of course the unveiling of the Sean Woods era will be happening about 7:55. He's going to introduce the men's team. They're going to have a dunk competition. Then
are you entering?
If they'll let me have the little
little
trampoline.
Yeah, the little
you saw that
mini tramp.
Yep, mini tramp. You see that Kevin James movie where he's trying to jump and that's me. That's me. But
bring your cameras, folks. Bring your cameras. Do not miss this moment.
Coach, we'll see you up at Indianapolis, Ballard, 6 o'clock. Butler. Ballard taking on Butler. That's true.
Go.
That'll be at 6 o'clock, airtime 5:30 here on the ESN. That's going to do it for this edition of the Eagles Sports Coaches Show. I'd like to thank Warren Lipka, Jamie Gordon, Walt Ripka, and, of course, football coach Matt Ballard. For everyone involved and our producer back at the radio control, Ian Corbett, I'm Jason Blanton. Until next time, so long, everybody.